Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss chapter 2 of Geography, Inside Our Earth. The learning objectives, that is, what you're going to learn in this lesson is internal structure of the earth, rocks and minerals, the different types of rocks, that is igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic, about rock cycle and the uses of rocks and minerals. So let us begin the lesson. Well, this chapter will teach us what is inside our earth. Now, if you see our planet, it has got two parts. One is inside and the other is outside. When we say outside, what do we see? We see plants, mountains, rivers, etc. Because these things are all visible. As we human beings, we live on the outer part, so we can see these things. Whatever is there in the lithosphere, I hope you remember lithosphere. Last chapter we have done about the domains of the environment, and lithosphere is one among those. So that is the part of the land, lithosphere. So whatever is there in the lithosphere, we can see all those things. But I think there is a question. What lies inside our earth? Yes, there are many things inside the earth. Our earth is made up of several concentric layers. And these concentric layers are as follows: crust, mantle, and core. Okay, so these are the three layers that are found inside the earth. I'm going to show you one diagram in your book. The diagram is given in your book. The division of the three layers. You can see the top part we have the crust, then comes the mantle. The mantle is divided into two parts, upper mantle and lower mantle. Now upper mantle is partly molten and lower mantle is completely molten. And then we have the last layer, that is the core, and even core is divided into two parts, outer core and inner core. Outer core is in the molten state and inner core is in the solid state. So these are the different layers of the earth, the different concentric layers of the earth. Now we are going to learn about each of these layers in detail. So the first one is the crust. Now crust is the uppermost layer over the earth's surface. It is the thinnest of all the layers. It comprises of two parts, that is upper part, which is the continental masses, and it extends as far as 35 kilometers. And the lower part, that is the ocean floors, it extends up to 5 kilometers. This ocean floors, it is the crust under the, which is found under the oceans. So remember, there are two crusts. One is continental crust and the other is oceanic crust. Now, the constituents of these crust. The main mineral constituents of continental crust is silica and aluminium, and therefore we say it as Sial. Si stands for silica and Al stands for aluminium, and therefore Sial. And oceanic crust, the constituents are silica and magnesium. So we call it as Sima, okay? And Si is for silica and Ma for magnesium. So Sial and Sima. To sum up this crust, we can say upper layer is called the crust, and crust is equal to Sial, that is the continental crust, and Sima, which is the oceanic crust. So this was all about the first layer of the earth, that is the crust. Now coming to the second layer, that is the mantle. Now this is the mantle. Now what is mantle? Mantle, it is also known as asthenosphere. Okay, asthenosphere is the other word used for mantle. And just beneath the earth's crust lies the mantle. Mantle, it's not solid. It is in the molten state, and these molten rocks are called magma. It is semi-liquid in nature. Okay, this magma is semi-liquid in nature. It extends up to the depth of 2,900 kilometers and is extremely hot. So this was all about the second layer of the earth, that is mantle. Now coming to the third and the last layer of the earth, that is the core. Okay. So the next is core. It is the innermost layer in the earth and it's extremely hot. It has a radius of 3,500 kilometer. So if you see the diameter, it will be 7,000 kilometer. And the temperature, it will range from 2,000 to 5,000 degrees centigrade. So this much hot it is. It is mainly made up of nickel and iron and is called knife. Knife, Ni for nickel and Fe for ferrous, that is iron. Okay. So these were the three different layers of the earth: the crust, the mantle and the core. Now coming to the next part of discussion is rocks and minerals. The earth's crust is made up of various types of rocks, and rocks are made up of different minerals which are formed naturally. They can be of different color, size and texture. So there are three major types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. And we are going to learn about each of these rocks in detail. The first one is the igneous rocks. Let me turn the page and see igneous rocks now. Okay, you can see the picture here in your book of igneous rocks. Now what exactly are these igneous rocks? Igneous, it is made up of the Latin word ignis, which means fire. Now when molten magma cools, okay, now molten magma is the hot liquid which oozes out from a volcano. It becomes solid and thus forms igneous rocks. Now they are also called primary rocks as they were the first rocks to be formed. Now these igneous rocks are further divided into two types. Number one, extrusive igneous or volcanic rocks. Now what are these extrusive igneous or volcanic rocks? Now when lava comes out on the earth's surface, it cools down and becomes solid and forms extrusive rocks. They have a very fine grained structure. Now example, you can say basalt. Now in India, it is found in the Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau has been formed by these rocks, that is the extrusive igneous rocks. Now the next division of rocks is the intrusive igneous or plutonic rocks. Now what are these rocks? Now when the molten magma cools down deep inside the earth's crust, intrusive rocks are formed. Since they cool down slowly, they form large grains. An example, you can say granite. Granite is an example of intrusive igneous, also known as plutonic rocks. The next type of rocks is sedimentary rocks. After the igneous, we have sedimentary rocks. The name sedimentary has been derived from the Latin word sedimentum, which means settle down. Now, broken smaller particles of rocks are called sediments. Now, igneous rocks, what happens? It rolls down, cracks down and hits each other and break down into smaller fragments, which are called sediments. Sediments are further transported and deposited by wind to water. Along with time, these loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form layers of rocks, which is known as sedimentary rocks. So this is how sedimentary rocks are formed. These rocks may also contain fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms that once lived on them. An example you can say of sedimentary rocks is sandstone, which is made from grains of sand. The next rock is metamorphic rocks. What are metamorphic rocks? The name metamorphic has been derived from the Greek word metamorphos, which means change of form. Now, igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks under great heat and pressure. So this condition you have to remember how they change their form from igneous and sedimentary into metamorphic when the pressure and the heat is exerted. then only these rocks will be changed. Okay, now it means the sediments deposited on the crust of the earth forms different layers, and therefore there is a continuous pressure, and simultaneously the heat is obtained from the magma that is just below the crust. So due to the continuous pressure and heat, the rocks changes its form as it gets compressed. An example you can say is the clay changes into slate, limestone changes into marbles. So from sedimentary and from igneous, metamorphic rocks are formed. The next point of discussion is rock cycle. Okay, water cycle, you have heard the term water cycle, everything keeps on cycling. Okay, even rock cycle is also similar. Now, one type of rock changes into another type of rocks under certain conditions in a cyclic manner. This process of transformation is known as rock cycle. Now, take for example, magma cools down, solidifies and becomes igneous rock. Now again, this igneous rock, it breaks down and is transported in the form of sediments. Now when these sediments are subjected to heat and pressure, metamorphic rocks are formed. So these metamorphic rocks are formed deep inside the earth. They transform into magma under heat and pressure, and again this magma comes out from the crust, cools down and form igneous rock, and then again the cycle continues. So we see that from igneous, sedimentary, from sedimentary, metamorphic, again from metamorphic it goes to igneous, and the cycle continues. So this is how we call it a rock cycle. Okay, the cyclic process of the transformation of rocks from one category to the other. So this is rock cycle. And the last part of this lesson, we have the different uses of rocks and minerals. Please don't mind students, my hand is little shaky, so the video is shaking a lot. So uses of rocks and minerals, you can see there are 6 points here. It is very easy to understand. I'll just read out number 1. Minerals provide plants with the nutrients they need to grow. So likewise, you can see 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. How are they useful? And even you have to make a note of this, uses of rocks and minerals. And the rest of the question and answers, the exercises, I'll soon be sharing it with you all. So I hope the lesson is clear to you about the different layers of the earth, then about the different types of rocks and the rock cycle, and the last one is the uses of rocks and minerals. So thank you.